More and more B2B service businesses are building their own AI tools and systems, automations and reporting platforms using AI coding tools like Codex and Claude. And look, they're fantastic tools. They can build great things, but I think a lot of people are mistaking being able to build something that works and kind of looks shiny and nice today versus software that's going to stand the test of time and serve its purpose over the next few years. And in this video, I want to share a few considerations you might want to think about if you've been building your own tools and systems, or if someone in your team has been dedicating time to it, and if they're not a developer by trade. If we haven't met before, my name's Joe. I'm a senior software engineer, and I work with B2B service firms as a technical partner, building things like internal software tools, SaaS applications, and automations. So, AI is a little bit of a trickster. It lures you into a slight false sense of achievement. Now, what do I mean by this? So when you start building applications with AI, it can produce some shiny dashboards, pages, functionality really quickly. You can spend half a day prompting and writing out what you want, and it'll spit out something that's starting to look pretty good. And you get confident. Yeah, we don't need developers. I'm a little bit biased. I am a developer by trade, but hear me out. The first 50% can be very quick. The next 40% taking you to 90% done. Slows down a bit, but isn't too bad. 90 to 95% can feel arduously slow, and getting it from 95% to over the line to 100% done can be absolutely arduous or impossible sometimes. And that final 5% is usually some of complicated stuff. It's not the UI, it's not making it look nice. It's things that we'll discuss a little bit more later, but things like security, scalability, maintainability, and also some real strange edge cases, which can be tough for us software engineers as well. And also AI can do great things. Getting a complicated project, which behind the scenes has a million lines of code, all working coherently to just get it ready to ship, that can be really quite tough. You may have experienced that already. For trivial applications, it's different. If you're building a website with a contact form, okay, yeah, not so much. If you're trying to build a client dashboard and portal and project management system, I think if you haven't experienced this already, you will do further down the line. So we touched a little bit on this earlier, but security, how is that being managed in the application? So software security is a massive topic and has quite a lot of complexities to it. Attacks are getting more and more complicated, and there's definitely a core set of security principles and considerations you need to have thought about and taken action on. Things like rate limiting, where it's hosted, secure session management, input validation, making sure when people upload an image, it is an image, and it definitely can't be a malicious script that's going to steal your data. Aside as well from all of the kind of stuff about bot attacks and some of this niche technical stuff, one of the biggest issues I see in some AI coded apps is a complete lack of basic roles and permissions. So this is where you say, okay, I'm going to be the super admin. I can do everything, and I want someone else to have the role of a manager, and they can't create new users, they can only do this, and we want to give our clients access and they can only see their own data. And usually that works visually, but if you enter in a different address, a different URL, sometimes you can access other people's data, or you find your clients can actually go in and delete or view data from your other clients, which is quite a big data breach, a security concern, and is likely to be a bit of a trust breaker if they find out about that. But I've seen that quite a few times where the application looks great and it is completely insecure. It looks like there's protection, but behind the scenes, it just does not work. So yeah, that's one to really think about and look out for. Another thing to think about is who's going to support this application long term. Yes, it might be shaping up to be something that's useful in a couple of weeks when it's done, but is it going to have utility over a few years? Who's going to dig into issues when there's a bug or something unexpected happens or something needs updating? So I think if you've got resource allocated to that, that's a slightly different story, if that's planned. If it's you, the owner or founder, building out these applications, will you want to be bug fixing in 6 months' time? Will you want to be doing upgrades? Will you want to be the one adding in new features and tweaking things? Do you want your role to become that of a software developer. Because one thing I do know for sure is, building software applications, that's part of it, but they need supporting and maintenance. Just like a car needs new tires, servicing, oil change, pollen filter changing, all that stuff, software needs something similar. Also, think about what is your time worth as a business owner and founder. I think this looks back to my starting point that the first 50% can be achieved very, very quickly with AI, and that it's towards the end things really start to slow down. I've seen quite a lot of people whose time is very valuable, spending evenings, weekends, hours and hours and hours, lots in AI tokens, trying to build this piece of software, which it would have been better if a team member did it, or maybe there was something off the shelf for a fraction of that cost per month that could have done this just fine, but they've become sort of transfixed and really involved in developing this thing, and it just takes, they thought it might be 20 hours and I can do this in a weekend, and it can take a lot more than that. So just something to think about. Is this really where you want to be spending your time? So I'm not trying to put you off making your own software tools and applications with AI. That wasn't the point of this, but it was to give you some ideas and things to think about before you get really kind of committed down this path. Where I think it does make sense is when it's smaller tools and applications, and it's things that aren't handling really personal, sensitive information. They're not handling payments. If the application did fail or did break or there was a data breach, it's not going to be absolutely crippling to the business, and it's not something that the business is going to rely on to operate. I think it's better suited if you can create these smaller applications that just speed up delivery or client comms, or these smaller pieces of the puzzle, rather than going, okay, we're going to build our whole client portal and comms platform integrated to our PM system. I think that's a different kettle of fish. If you are going down the bigger route, I'd definitely look at getting a team member to kind of champion that and lead the way on it. It will eat up and burden a stack of your time otherwise. And hey, look, if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but I'd give it to a team member. And I'd also look at getting some technical oversight from a senior developer. Look, I'm not pitching my own services here, but someone that can code, knows what they're doing, needs to take a look over it, mainly for the security side of that. But they can work with whoever's in the company's kind of vibe coding and building this AI software. It's not just the security side. They can give some great pointers on tips about how to speed up delivery, things that will be more complicated than they thought, how to host it, how to set up backups, all that good stuff that you and your team might not be super confident on, and that these tools won't be able to help you with as much. If you found that video useful, please do consider subscribing. I post a new video each week with similar content on.